All right, guys, we'll get underway with Coach Holgerson, student athletes to follow, join us, and use the right-hand tool to ask your questions. We'll get started with that and get going. All right, first question goes to Joseph Duarte, Houston Chronicle. JD.
Hey, Dana. Just curious, just during the week, the talks that you guys had, how you thought the guys responded from the last couple of weeks, and what you wanted to accomplish today.
I think we responded pretty good. I got criticized on Monday by, I can't remember who, it doesn't matter who, for me not being very good at getting our team to start fast. So we talked about it all week and went out there and started fast so that we can put that to rest. I was happy with it. We up 28-0. We played really good defense in the first half. That offense is coming off of scoring 35 at Memphis last week. So they're capable of it, and we elevated our game and played better on defense. Really want to commend our guys for just next guy up. It's 2020. A guy like Manny Nunnery started for the first time in his career and had 8 tackles. I thought he played great, but it is what it is. Guys need to step up and play, and it kind of got sloppy there for a while in the second half. But when you're up 42-7, you shouldn't complain too much. We're not good enough to be complacent. Just go out there and play and be dominant. So glad we got out there and made a couple of plays. Punt return. It just seemed like it was just a matter of time before he was going to do that. It's one of the best ones in the country now. I mean, he's pretty special. And then we finally got a turnover and took it to the house. That was fun to watch. But through all that, offense just sat there, much like last week against Cincinnati. Seemed like we were on the sidelines for forever and got complacent. And when you get complacent, you're not going to be successful. So I was glad to see us get out there and in the fourth quarter, drive it down and punch one in, made us feel a little bit better about it. But overall, I was happy with the performance. A lot of people played a lot and took a lot of snaps, and we'll be able to learn a lot about individuals, as far as how they performed.
Next question goes to James Mueller from the Daily Cougar. James.
Yeah, Dana, so I know USF had been rotating between McLeod and Johnson at quarterback throughout the season, but Johnson sort of had the starts the past few weeks. Did y'all prepare for both quarterbacks? Because obviously Johnson didn't make the trip, and then it shifted to McLeod, or were y'all primarily focused on one of their quarterbacks?
I can assure you in 2020, you prepare for everything. You don't know who's going to be on the trip. South Florida is dealing with a lot of the same stuff that we're dealing with, which is a lot of the same stuff that a lot of people are dealing with, which is why there's 15 game cancellations this week. So, I commend our administration and our doctors and the team and just everybody involved, both South Florida and Houston, for hanging in there and fielding 2 teams to be able to play. I mean, he's a first year program for Coach Scott, and we're still young into our second year in the program and all that. And the more we play, the better. So we needed to play, and both teams, I commend them for being able to play. With that said, who knows what the heck the lineup's going to be? You probably can't even name our lineup today based on what happened this morning. So it's just that you wake up and you prepare for about anything. So, yeah, I think our coaches prepared for that and a whole lot more.
Next question goes to Andy Yanez from the Daily Cougar. Andy?
Dana, just from the opening drive, it looked like you guys were more committed to, incorporating runs with Clayton Tune. Can you talk a little bit about that? Was that the game plan, or was that Tune just calling plays?
Yeah, I call the plays. He checks them if he sees things based on what he sees, but he's always going to be in the run game. The defense dictates that. I don't. So if they're going to account for him, then I'm never going to run him. But if they're not going to account for him, we have things built in to where he's going to run the football. He's a good runner. And he could have had this game against Central Florida too, and just didn't see it like he needed to. We worked hard on that last week. We worked really hard on that this week. If people play man coverage like that and they don't account for the quarterback, then Clayton Tune is going to make you pay. Now, with that said, we want to keep him. out of harm's way as much as we can. I thought this was the best that Clayton's done at preventing hits and getting down. And shoot, he had 120 yards rushing. I think that's gonna make teams account for him, which will help the run game in general.
Next question goes to Steve Helwig from Underdog Dynasty. Steve?
Hi, Coach. Clayton was leading the running game, but there were a lot of good performances from all the running backs as well. You almost doubled your season high in that regard. What did you see out of your offensive line to help manufacture that today?
Yeah, we challenged them. And some of that's me and what the play calls are too. I think I got away from it the last couple of weeks. And we focused on it. I was trying to get Mulva going. He's been injured. He's a senior. He means a lot to the program. Tried to get him going earlier. He got out on a couple early, which was good to see. But he's still too gimpy. Kudos to Chandler Smith. He kid went in there and ran his tail off. I was really excited to see him. And there was some yards after contact for a little bitty guy. I thought that was awesome. Keelan went in and then Fulbright, the favorite on the team, got in there and got him a touchdown too. So we challenged everybody, especially up front. All this stuff happens up front. It all begins up front. The tight ends are a big part of that. DK went in and blocked well as a tight end, and 85 just goes in there and continues to amaze me of a lot of the things that he can do. So we challenged him, we called it, and we executed it. I can't say the same about the passing game. It was pretty spotty in the passing game. It's a lot easier to get the run game going and score points. I know that.
Next question goes to Rob Sellers, 247 Sports. Rob?
Thanks. Hey, Dana, Derek Parrish had a pretty big game today, and the cameras caught you guys as you guys were going to halftime. You ran up to Derek and you kind of sought him out. Was that anything meaningful or just coincidence there?
No, I just encouraged him. He had got to the quarterback once or twice, and I was, patting him on the back for that. He does some stupid things every now and then. So I think he got a penalty at the end of the game, which I yelled at him for that. He was begging for a call. I yelled at him for that. And then he just makes plays, and a lot of times last week he got there and he didn't make the play. We challenged him this week. When you get there, you got to make that play. And he took a step in the right direction, man. He's hard to block. I see it all day in practice. I'm surprised he hasn't hurt our quarterbacks a couple of times because he gets in there and acts like a meathead and wants to hit him and stuff. So it's nice to see him do that in an actual game. I thought he played really well.
Back to Justin, JD.
Hey, Dana, was Porter something from the last game or was that late in the week here in practice? And also, if I'm not mistaken, at linebacker, you were pretty decimated, especially at the Sam spot. Was Giovanni also kind of one of those carryovers from the last game?
Yeah, there's about 15 guys on the sideline that have played this year that didn't play. So you can figure out who those guys are. But I'm not going to use that as an excuse, and we're not going to worry about it. The next guy gets these plays. I was really happy with Manny. We had some guys go down. Porter went down. He ran hard against Cincinnati. He took some shots against Cincinnati. He's just sore. It happens at running back. It's not surprising. He's going to be fine. His Mulva's turn to step up and play, and then he went down, and the next guy's got to go in, and that's the way college football is. So regardless of what position it is, other people need to be prepared to go in there and play, and it's just the way it is, man. Is it unfortunate? Yes. Does it suck not to have all your guys that you've been practicing with? Yes, but it ain't going to change anytime soon.
And just to clarify something that I guess you mentioned on USF in terms of what
Sorry, JD. Say again.
I was going to clarify. Earlier, you said you guys were dealing with some of the stuff that USF was dealing with. From what you can say, I know you guys have had success with COVID. Were any of you guys affected by that this week that couldn't be out there, or was it all injury type stuff?
It's all of the above. It's all of the above. And you know me, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to use it as an excuse. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to coach the guys that can coach and get them ready to play. Got a big one next week.
Thank you.
Next up, James Mueller, the Daily Cougar. James.
Yeah, Dana, I know earlier you talked about how you saw some stuff from your special teams defense and offense that you really liked, and all three units were actually able to score today. Would you call this the most complete game as a team y'all have played, just since you were able to have success on all three units?
Yeah, that's probably a fair assessment. With that said, we played sloppy at times too. We're not good enough and consistent enough to play sloppy and let things get sloppy and just still continue to do good things, right? And so there is some sloppy stuff everywhere as well. But when you're up 42-7 in the third, that tends to happen, especially when you're playing a lot of inexperienced guys. So yeah, I'd say that's probably a fair assessment. And it was a good win, good team win. We'll take it and we'll move on to the next one.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up with news tonight. We'll have student athletes in here shortly. Thanks.
Thank you.
And we finished well. And coach has been preaching, man, just finish, starting fast, man. I think we just came out and we dominated on both sides of the ball.
Next question goes to James.
Yeah, hey Keith. Can you walk me through on that second drive of the game? You had that crazy catch near the sideline where Clayton threw it up, and you were able to get it looked like a knee and an elbow in bounds. How did that go down? Like, what did you see, and how were you able to just keep yourself in bounds to secure the catch and extend the drive?
I was just thinking, make a play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when just come out, just play hard, tune through it up. I was like, man, I've been waiting on this moment, so I just made a big play. That's all it was.
All right, we'll go.
Yeah, Keith. Earlier in the week, Clayton Toon kind of talked about how kind of his message for the team was to keep your confidence up, to like keep going forward, to try to get your swagger back. Really, can you talk about what it was like, just the practice leading up to this game, and how this performance kind of, you guys have at least 3 games left, how it's going to carry y'all into the final few games of the season?
Preparation, man. Just come out, just practice hard, man. Just be patient. That's all I was told, man. I just keep going hard, make a play when the ball comes to you. Just do what you have to do.
Anything else for Keith, guys? All good. We got Clayton too. Thanks, everybody. Be right back. All right, guys, we've got a junior quarterback, a couple notes on Clayton. He had his second game with at least 100 yards passing, 100 yards rushing tonight, 19 that's happened in the program's history. Also, first time he's passed for 2 and rushed for 2 touchdowns in the same game. So, passing this long, take questions for Clayton. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, hey Clayton. So I know I've asked you about this before, about the offense's slow starts in the first quarter. But today, y'all were able to really get going. It took y'all 3 plays to score, and y'all put up over 200 yards in the first quarter and 14 points. What was different about today that allowed y'all to just get off on the right foot and really carry that through the entire first half?
First of all, I think we just had a good week of practice. That's something we had focused on. So we just came out. We were excited. Just played hard, played with a passion, and then kept the energy and morale high. So I think it's something that we had been talking about and something that we worked on, and it's good to actually get it done. So
we'll swing it over to JD. Go ahead, Justin.
Hey, Clayton, the running game, the commitment early to it. Curious in terms of how y'all got that going, considering you didn't have Kyle and Mobile was still coming off of the injury, but what was the kind of the approach there to getting that running game from the very start going?
I thought the guys up front did a great job, and it was just when you can run it well, it opens up the passing game. And so, like I said earlier, I thought we had a really good week of practice, and the big guys did a really good job of stepping up and finishing blocks and doing their part, and the backs did a great job carrying. So it was awesome to have that part of our game.
And if I'm not mistaken, you've had some snaps with Braylon this year, but I don't think for a full game. How did that go? I mean, it seemed like it was pretty smooth. Was it, you've worked with him before?
Yeah, it was smooth. There was I mean, he's done it in practice. We've done it in practice before, so there was no, it was smooth.
Next question goes to Daily Cooper. Andy.
Yeah, Clayton, my question for you is really with this offensive explosion, you kind of touched on it, how this was a goal for you guys, especially after this week of practice where you felt really confident. Basically, how do you take this? You have another big game next week. How do you take it and kind of build for the rest of the season?
Yeah, just build on it, use it to, gain confidence, and just go to work tomorrow. We got practice tomorrow, so we're gonna, go back to work and watch the film and see what we can do better, and really just take that confidence and that aggression, to practice and get ready for next week.
Next question is back to James. James.
Yeah, Clayton, throughout the season, I know you've used your legs a lot and had success with that. But how did it feel to get involved in the receiving game today with your first career reception on that trick play?
It was good, man. It was fun. We had practiced that all week, and I was really hoping that Coach Holgerson and Coach Dawson would call it. And so when they did, I just grinned really big, and I was like, "Let's go!" So it was a lot of fun.
Go over to Joseph. Go ahead, JD.
Clayton, the score was pretty decided there at the end. But after your pick six, was there any talk on the sideline about he wanted you to go back in and maybe end on a good note, or was there any talk about just kind of not ending on that note?
Yeah, we just wanted to finish the game. It was a bad decision by me, but just wanted to finish the game and get that bad taste out of our mouths.
What you think of Fulbright getting a touchdown there?
That was awesome, man. He deserves it. He deserves it. He works so hard, and he deserves it. He's a really good back. So
cool. Anything else for Clayton, guys? I failed to mention it's the fifth time in the last 3 years you've had a player with a pass completion, a rush, and a catch in the same game. So Clayton's ready to flow.
Sweet.
Well, got Derek Parrish and David next. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
All right, guys, we've got a junior defensive lineman. Sorry about that, Derek. Junior defensive lineman Derek Parrish up next. Derek, I'll let you unmute yourself, and then we'll take questions.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph Duarte's in first.
Man, Derek, we need to talk to you every week because you talked to us for the first time you score. Can you take us through the that play where all of a sudden the ball's in your hand and you're trucking down the field, 80-something yards?
I was in the middle of the rush, and Dave smacks him, after he fumbled it, and it kind of just landed in my hand. So at that point, your only option is just run. Get to that, get your end zone, you know what I mean? But, it was really emotionless. It was just more instinct. You got the ball, you got to score, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I saw it.
When was the last time you scored a touchdown?
Last time I scored?
High school?
Probably Little League. Or 8th grade, junior high.
We'll swing around to James Mueller from the Daily Cougar. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, so I know this was the second week y'all were without some key guys defensively, like Peyton and Donovan. But can you talk about how impressed you've been with some of the other guys that have come in and stepped up? Coach Holgerson sort of emphasized how he was proud that all these guys who are making their first career starts or appearing for the first time have really stepped up and filled in those shoes.
That was the emphasis all week, next man up, you got to be ready. And that's what makes me proud of all my boys, because, you got guys in front of you down, they stepped up and they played hard. And, we all did our 111. And, once you do your 111, that's where good things happen. And that's what happened tonight.
Next question goes to Steve Helwig from Underdog Dynasty. Go ahead, Steve.
Derek, in the first half, 4-6 punts, and then you had that your team had that huge sack on 4th down and 8 in your territory. How's it feel to just stomp on a team like that in the first half and give them 0 life by halfway point?
It's always nice, when you got a team by the throat like that, and it makes you want to just, in not derogatory terms, just keep crushing. You want to keep going, and I think that's what we did for the most part, was just don't let up, act like the game's 0-0. And I think for the most part, we did a good job of that.
We're going to go to Andy Yanez next. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, Derek, earlier in the week, you talked about how this was still the same defense from the first 2 games of the season where you guys were able to do a good job against the rush. Obviously, today you guys have another good performance, but can you talk about what that week of practice was like and really where you guys go forward from here?
I'd say in a way intense, on the players, on each other. Like we really made an emphasis to push each other and not going through the motion, really having the mental rep with the physical rep, each rep. And I think that's what got us where we were tonight. So That was just the little difference we needed.
All right, we'll go back to Joseph.
Derek, with that said, from the defensive standpoint, is it fair to say that you guys really came out and wanted to make a statement, just considering how things had gone the last week, and if you could, put it on a team?
Yes, I think we wanted to come out this week showing the defense that we really are, truly are. Regardless if some guys are out, that doesn't matter. We have who we have, and that's all we need. You know what I mean? That's how we have to see it. We can't let those last weeks get us. It's like I told you the other day. It's week by week. New day, 24-hour rule, and that's what we're gonna do with this week.
Anything else for Derek, guys? All good.
Sure to request you on Monday.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up with the team. David, email me to leave in the stacks. I want to have some guys. We'll take questions from David when you guys are ready. All right, we'll start with Joseph Martek. Go to
David, you just heard, I think you just heard Derek there. He was saying that the defense wanted to come out and show that you were the same guys from the first few weeks. How did it feel to be able to kind of go back to how y'all had played and really control a game?
It felt great. We've had some injuries to the team. We've had some guys now. Payne Turner, he's been out, so we of course miss him. But it just felt great to win and play great defense and make some plays again like we did in the first few games.
You gonna make sure Derek Parrish owes you on the hit there that he got the touchdown?
I already told him he owes me lunch.
You'll make it an expensive one?
Yeah.
Along those lines, David, Coach had talked this week that you guys had been in the backfield quite a bit, but maybe didn't get to finish the play, weren't getting the quarterback down. You seem to do that quite a bit today. Was that kind of something that you guys wanted to be aware of where you were in the backfield and be able to get those people down?
Yeah, last week against Cincinnati, we put ourselves in position to make some plays. We were in the backfield, myself as well, but we just didn't finish them. But so we emphasized all throughout the week about, finishing plays, and, that's what we did today.
anything more questions for David, guys?
When people hear, David, that you're down 5, I think it was 4 or 5 starters on defense and a bunch of backups, the first thing people say was, you could blame them if they don't play well, or if they. I mean, you guys don't seem to. You're not like that. It's kind of the next man up mentality. Is that where you maybe take a little bit more pride that y'all did what you did today, especially in the first half, considering how down you were, that other people stepped up?
Yeah, we definitely have a next man up mentality, and it doesn't matter who's down. We always got everybody on our defense can play the 1s, the 2s, and some 3s as well. So we take a lot of pride in that on defense, about how many different people that we have who can play or can step up.
I know you don't necessarily get to play alongside him a lot, but Manny Nunnery had a really good game today. Sean Lewis had a couple of key breakups. Guys like that haven't necessarily seen a lot of playing time really went out there today. Yeah.
I was really proud of Manny, I was really proud to see him get out there, make some plays and do his thing. And Sean, too, it was just a great, those 2 guys, they really stepped up for us tonight.
Anything else for you guys? All right. Thanks for nothing on this side, and we'll see you guys on Monday for Coach Overson. Good night.
Appreciate y'all.